I didn't lose control. I gave it away, like a gift, like a loaded gun, handed off with a smile. The old woman who raised me once warned, if you ever feel it waking inside you and you have a choice, don't make it. She meant well, most people do before they try to chain you to their fears. But tonight, the whisper wasn't hers. It wasn't even the moon. It was me. And I heard it, clear as blood on snow. Choose the wolf. 36 days. That's how long I've kept it down. 36 days of suppression. Of moon charts and mantras, of silver-lined sheets, herbal teas, chewable wolfsbane, and breathing exercises. A whole Pinterest board of self-help for monsters. None of it works when the trigger isn't nature, because sometimes it's personal. My phone buzzed a few minutes ago. His name lit up the screen. I didn't need to open the message. I already knew what it said. He's going to the party tonight, same backyard, same people, same plastic cups full of warm beer, like nothing ever happened. Like he didn't once leave me bleeding in the woods and call it closure. He thinks I'm the same girl he broke. He doesn't realize he left the wrong part of me alive. In my drawer, under a folded cloth, there's a ring. Not a normal one. This one shaped like a claw. I wore it the first time I changed. I swore I never would again, but tonight, I put it on like it never left. They say don't carry old weapons, but I am the weapon. I've just been sleeping. I dress in black, not for stealth, for ceremony. The kind of black that eats the moonlight and smiles back. I line my lips in crimson, sharp and dark. I look in the mirror, and for a second, my reflection hesitates. Like it's waiting for me to admit what I've already decided. I don't flinch. I walk out into the night. The moon is behind me. I don't even glance at it. Let the others be dragged into it by instinct. I've learned how to push, how to press the ribcage open myself, how to call the claws by name. I hear the party before I see it. Music, laughter. That familiar sound of people pretending not to feel afraid. I step through the back gate. I stay in the shadows, and there he is, Travis. Still laughing, still smug, like nothing ever cracked open between us. Like there was no betrayal, no sobbing. In the mud, no blood on my hands from trying to hold myself together. He doesn't see me yet good. I want him to enjoy these last few moments of normal. Because after tonight, nothing will ever be the same again. You want a confession? Fine, I didn't lose control. I let the wolf out. He always smelled like cedar and sweat, like the woods after rain. It used to comfort me. Now it just pulls me back to that night. I see him across the yard, his arm around someone new, his laugh louder than it needs to be. Performing, he doesn't. No, I'm watching. That's always been his flaw. He never looked hard enough. I didn't come here to talk. I didn't come here to confront him, ask why, demand closure, or fall apart. I came because something inside me stood up when I saw his name again, something that used to beg for peace, now begged for blood. There's this thing that happens when you're betrayed by someone you trusted. It's like a second skin peels back, and underneath is something older, something that remembers every slight like it was carved in bone. I remember that night, the one he pretends never happened. We were deep in the trees, moonlight caught in the sweat on my collarbone. He said the kind of things that make you believe you're safe. He said he loved me. He lied. He wanted the story, not the girl. He saw the scars and called them beautiful until they stopped making him feel special. When he realized I wasn't just damaged, I was dangerous, he ran. He didn't even scream, just turned and vanished. Like I'd ground teeth right there in the clearing. He left me shaking, half transformed, half naked, half cursed. He left me human enough to cry and wolf enough to remember. Some people survive heartbreak. I survived becoming something else. So yeah, I saw him tonight, saw him with his new girl. She looked just like I used to, right down to the nervous laugh and the way she leaned in, hoping to be seen. I wanted to warn her. I did. But some lessons come with blood. My fingertips tingled. My throat burned. My jaw ached with that familiar pressure. The wolf was already there behind my eyes, curling through my ribs, licking its teeth. But I didn't let it out yet. No, not here. Not in front of the lights, the drinks, the half-friends. No, the forest was close. The same woods he once left me in. That's where it would happen. Where it needed to happen, he was going to follow. Me, I knew he would. The wolf inside me smiled when I felt his gaze slide my way. Let him follow. Let him come looking for the girl he thinks is still there. He doesn't realize she died the night he ran. All that's left is me. I stepped onto the patio like I belonged there. Laughter rose like smoke from red cups and cheap speakers, old songs and new strangers. Half-lit faces too wrapped in their own drama to notice the shadows slipping past them. But he noticed, of course. He did. Travis always had a radar for things he thought he'd broken. He couldn't resist checking the cracks. Couldn't help wondering if I still looked at him the way I used to, like he was the center of my gravity. I didn't. My smile was polite, casual. The kind of smile you wear to funerals. Or first dates with people you already plan to forget. He froze for half a second when he saw me, then caught himself, laughed too loud, held his drink a little higher, slipped an arm tighter around the girl beside him. He thought he was playing it cool. He thought he still mattered. I moved through the crowd like a scent on the breeze. He watched me the whole time. Every step I took was bait, and he was already hooked. I didn't need to say a word. There's a power in silence. And knowing something no one else in the room knows, like the fact that I'm not here for small talk or second chances. I'm here to feed the thing I've kept caged. One of the girls, some friend of a friend, offered me a drink. I took it, sipped once. It tasted like ash. The music changed, slower now, warmer, the kind of track you play to lower. Everyone's guard, I leaned against the railing, eyes half-lidded, pretending to be bored. I wasn't. I was listening. The wolf inside me was pacing, tail low, teeth bared, breath hot behind my ribs. She didn't want to wait, but I made her, because revenge tastes better when it's slow. When it's earned, I looked up and caught his eyes again, just a glance. He smiled, not smug this time. Just curious, cautious. He thought maybe this was a chance, poor thing. He whispered something to the girl beside him, then slipped away. Watched him cross the yard, past the laughter, past the lights, toward the tree line, where I'd already decided this would end the moment he stepped into the woods. I followed, not fast, not slow, just sure. Like I'd done this before, because I had, and this time I wasn't going to stop. The woods were quieter than they should have been. No crickets, no wind. Just the hush of things that know better than to speak when blood is about to be spilled. I stopped near the clearing, the same one where I lost everything that first night. My breath rose like smoke. The moon slipped between clouds, like it didn't want to watch. Good. This wasn't for the sky. This was for me. There was a cracked hand mirror in my coat pocket. I don't know why I brought it. Habit, maybe, or a ritual. I took it out and held it up. And there she was. Not anymore. My left eye had already shifted, pupil stretched, iris blooming with amber heat. My skin pulsed beneath the surface, like something alive and ancient was pushing outward. The bones in my jaw ached. My canines pressed against my lips like prisoners testing the bars. I didn't flinch, because this was always the truth beneath the lie. This was who I really am. When the masks fall away, I watched as the seams of my humanity loosened. The lines blurred, the smile cracked wider than it should have. There was no fear in it, just clarity. The kind of clarity that comes when you stop pretending you're something you're not. My fingers curled, nails lengthened into talons, not the grotesque claws of fairy tales, but instruments of intention, of precision. My spine arched. Muscles pulled tight, then tore free. The sound was familiar now, like wet rope snapping. My breath hitched, half gasp, half growl. I dropped the mirror. Didn't need it anymore. I could feel her fully now, the wolf. Not a possession, not a curse, an equal. She didn't scream as she rose through me. She didn't rage. She exhaled, like finally being allowed to breathe. The fur rippled across my arms. My hearing sharpened. I could hear him just ahead, still searching. Still stupid enough to believe I wanted a conversation, my mouth split open wider, the jaw dislocated and reformed. My tongue curled around teeth that weren't meant for speech anymore. And still I smiled. I didn't rush the change. I welcomed it, guided it, let it be beautiful. Because this wasn't a punishment, it was a choice. And in that moment, with the last breath of the girl I used to be fading from my lungs, I was finally whole. He was only a few steps ahead when I caught his scent panic just starting to mix with cologne. I followed, silent as shadow, body no longer mine in the way it once was. It moved like smoke and muscle, like hunger with purpose. He turned just as I stepped into the clearing. I don't know what he expected, an apology, a conversation, closure. Instead, he saw something that shattered whatever fantasy he'd clung to. Me, but not the me he left bleeding. No, this version of me didn't beg, didn't cry, didn't wait. He took a step back, another. His mouth opened, but no words came out, just that pathetic sound people make when fear steals their tongue. I could smell the adrenaline breaking through his skin. I circled him once, slow, letting him feel what I'd felt. That helplessness, that realization that you're not walking away from this, that you already made the mistake and now it's just a matter of how long you last. He tried to bolt. Of course he did, but I was on him before the second footfall. One leap, one strike, claws met fabric, flesh, warmth. He hit the ground hard, eyes wide, breath knocked out of him. I stood over him, panting. Not from exhaustion, from restraint. He whispered my name, my real name, the human one. I didn't answer. I leaned in close. Let him see my face, not the horror movie version he might have imagined, something worse, something beautiful. He started to cry. That was when I finally struck, not outrage, not even out of justice, but mercy. Because part of me, some echo of the girl he discarded, still felt the need to end this cleanly. I remember the taste of him, how quickly the struggle stopped, how quiet the forest was after, like even the trees didn't dare breathe. Blood soaked the leaves, steam rose from the warm spill beneath me, but I didn't feel guilt, not even relief. I felt alignment, like I'd finally moved back into the space I was always meant to occupy. Not victim, not villain, just Wolf. The walk back was slow, not because I was tired, because I wanted to savor it. The air still hummed with him, his scent, his blood, his fear, but it didn't cling to me like guilt. It wore itself like a perfume, something earned, something claimed. By the time I stepped back inside, the party was already dying. The music was quieter, the crowd thinned. A few laughs floated in from the kitchen. No one noticed me slip upstairs. No one ever does when I don't want them to. The bathroom was empty. Dim light flickered from a tired bulb. The mirror above the sink was cracked, probably from some drunken fight weeks ago. But it still worked well enough. I looked into it, and she looked back. The wolf not fully there. Not fur and fang anymore, but not gone either, just watching. My eyes were still golden, still sharp. My lips were blood dark. My cheek had a smear I didn't bother to wipe away. And then just for a moment, my reflection did something I didn't. It smiled first. I smiled back because I wasn't afraid of her anymore. She wasn't a curse or a punishment. She was me, unchained. This is what people don't understand. Sometimes the worst part isn't the change. It's the pretending afterward, pretending you're sorry, pretending you didn't like it, but I don't need to pretend tonight. I leaned in close, let my breath fog the glass, and I whispered the only truth I have left. I chose this. I know what you're thinking, that I lost myself, that I crossed some sacred line and can't come back. But here's the thing they never tell you about the line. Sometimes it was never drawn for you in the first place. I didn't lose control. I made a choice, and when I did, the wolf didn't take over. She stepped aside and made room for once. There wasn't a battle between us, no snarling voice in my skull, no struggle for the wheel. It was quiet, and in that quiet I realized something no full moon, no curse, no silver chain ever taught me. I was never meant to cage her. She's not the monster. She's the part of me that survives, that remembers, that finishes things. So yeah, I let the wolf out. But not just for revenge, not just for blood, for truth, for freedom. For the girl who used to cry into her pillow and call it strength. For the woman who walked into the woods and didn't flinch. I don't regret what I did, not for a second. And if you're waiting for me to fall apart, you'll be waiting a long time. Because this isn't the end of my story. It's just the part where I stopped hiding. The wolf is awake now, and she doesn't sleep. Thank you for listening, and for those who hunger for more, step deeper into the shadows with our ultimate werewolf horror playlist linked in the description below. In the world of horror, the scariest things happen when you least expect them, and trust me, you don't want to be left in the dark. Welcome to the darkness.